It's Dizzy. I am out at the farm. I've been working once again on my outhouse, and as you can see, I have the latch on for the door, and yes, it closes, and hopefully if it's windy out it won't blow over, but I had quite a time getting this done. And even now, getting the screws in, I kind of went off to the side there. I'm not going to worry about that, but this was a chore. It's got this metal frame here, so I had to take that into consideration. This is where it had been a busted one on the outside, and there was something here to close it from the inside. So the first place I tried doing it here. As I already had holes drilled that were somewhat sort of in the right place. As you can see, there's one extra. And I got the holes drilled after I had taken off the pieces that were here. You can see where there was stuff here. And I got that off. Took me a bit, admittedly, to get it lined up, but did it, drilled the holes, got them on, and realized with this thing here, I couldn't put that on because this was in the way. So there was also something here that would lock it from the inside. And was able to get that off. Two of the holes were in the right place. I had to drill a third one so that I could put the last screw in. There was a hole that was in the right place for the top and for the spindle going through. I got that in, got it all in, and then of course it was getting this. And this is what I had trouble with, because, like I said, there is that metal frame. And I couldn't really drill right into that for putting this on. It wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have lined up right. It meant that I needed to put something that would fill in the gap there and work. And I did have to cut some of the plastic that was here out because it was catching on that. That was basically just in the way. So tried various pieces of wood to see if anything fit. Nothing did. I finally came up with the idea of taking something, then drilling it to a piece of 2x4 so that it would fit like that. And while that seemed to work, there was just one problem. As soon as I started screwing into it, it started to split. So I wasn't sure what to do. Then I had found this when I was cleaning my house. This was from an old countertop. And I came up with the idea, well, maybe I can cut that and use that. And I didn't think it would split the same way. Well, it seemed to work. I got the piece of wood, got it all cut, go to put it on, and it was screwing from the outside into this. And it was not going through. In fact, that part came off, so then I thought, well, I'll just go ahead with that. And as you can see, it split apart. So that was no good. So then I decided, part of my problem is I had one of these metal clips like this right in the way here. Let me get that off and see what I can cut in the way of a board to put in there. So was able to get that off, and then I tried. There's a piece of 2x3 that I used first. I ripped that to make it the correct size, I thought, and then tried to put it in place. Cut it the way that I thought it was going to so it would fit there. It didn't work. I didn't cut it right. Tried to get somebody else to cut it for me. They says, oh yeah, I can do that, and I never heard anything from them. This morning I came out here. I got a piece of 2x4, cut it so that it was long enough that I could have enough to bite into it from the out. Excuse me, I got a tickle in my throat. From the outside, cut it, ripped it, I didn't have a, which I would have really liked to have had some wood clamps to make so that it wouldn't move while I was cutting it. Instead, you can see a couple holes in it. I screwed it down into place. I was hoping that I'd be able to use those screws when I screw holes when I got this in place, but they're not in the right place, so it didn't work. But I was able to get it cut. It is pretty much the way it should be, big enough that it didn't split. I was able to get it on from the outside, and then let's get this on. So the door closes. I just have a few things that I need to do to this, and it'll be done. But at least I can close the door now and not have to worry about it coming open. And I'll talk to you later.